recording. Let me go to my EMF meter. Okay, I'm at like around close to like around 500 here. Now I just read a PDF from the one of the websites that I recommended, and oh damn, the stuff that they submitted a lot of TIs with when the people being on R&M. This is a lot more illegal than I realized. I mean, way more legal. It violates even more than human rights. Than the human rights under the Constitution. It violates way more than that. Way more. And it falls under. And I'm pretty sure some of you already know it falls under sections of under biological warfare. Because basically they're releasing harmful. It literally even states in the bill itself, and this came from the state of Michigan. It literally states that no one should release any of the following, which is all related to this nanite stuff. All of it is all related to RNM, remote neural monitoring. It's related to all of it, and yet they're doing it. The amount of money that these people could be fined is insane. It's insane. It went from 15,000, depending on what it is, and if it results in a person's death, that could go as far up as to $40,000 as a fine, and that's to everyone involved. That's to everyone involved, dude. I really would love to actually show you this. I really would. The only thing I can tell you to do, go to the website I was talking about before. That had I believe it was something. It was the Vault something. It was I don't know if it was. I can't remember the full name, but in one of my older videos, it was something about a website called the Vault. I left the link to the website there. And it has all the PDFs and all that for it. Unfortunately, I would have to, in order for me to be able to show you guys this, I would need to get permission to be able to publicly disclose it for public use. And since I don't want to be copyrighted, I'm afraid I can't, show you it. Unfortunately, I would love to. I really would, but oh man, dude. Oh snap! The amount of money, man. This. It is no one. I can only imagine, because I remember reading an article about a woman who was a female who was a TI, and in her situation, she was actually able to get evidence of what happened, and the police are not going to go as far as going as far as with the RNM, because if they do that, I'm pretty certain just about the entire police force is going to be arrested. It's not even just them, but as well as the gang stalkers, and with the fine amount, they're not getting out of prison, dude. If they get caught doing this mess, they're not get, and it goes that far. If they ever allow it to go that far, they're not going to get out of prison. There's no way, man. There's no way. And this is related to stuff saying, like, if this is being used to try to gather evidence of someone who is suspected of committing a crime. If they're they're basically using illegal, very illegal biological warfare weaponry on on citizens. It's crazy. It's really freaking crazy. It's like, I mean, aren't you supposed to be protecting the citizens? And all I got to say is, look, man. I honestly believe that the government is responsible for just about all crime and conflict in the states. I believe that for 100% of doubt, because when people are being submitted to this, it triggers and changes behaviors. It's crazy how this stuff works. It's crazy. It triggers hormones. It triggers behavioral patterns, and I believe that's probably why most kids out there nowadays are crazy, crazy and misbehaved as they are now. I mean, back a long time ago, yeah, like kids misbehave, but not like they doing now. This has gotten way out of proportion. Stuff has gotten way out of proportion. And if you don't believe me, look at the trouble that they having up at the I think it was Job Corps. I think it was what was it, Job Corp? I can't remember if it was Job Corp or the no, it was Job Corps. It's crazy. Like they got a bunch of them like selling drug. They got the kids selling drugs and stuff in there, man. They got them literally gang banging and all that kind of crap. And there's fights breaking out every freaking day. There's freaking there was even some kid that got murdered, and I'm telling you, as sick as this is, as disgusting as this is, there was a kid that got murdered there, and the dude and his girlfriend did something incredibly disgusting. They actually had intimate relations next to the person that they killed. No joke. This is the same kind of mindset that these gang stalkers have, mind you. That's the same type of satanic mindset that these gang stalkers have, and I say that because of judging from the research from what I've seen, like they have no boundaries, dude. They've got like no boundaries at all, man. It's it really is crazy. It truly is. Just gonna check my no root finder. Check out the access because I'm pretty certain something's been going through here. But lately, from what I've noticed, I noticed that there's like way less attempts on my access log now. Like it's way less. And as you can see, I just put my firewall up. Nothing. No attempts, like none. And I believe it's primarily because they don't want me putting the IP addresses. How much you want to believe that these same IP addresses that I've actually listed here and posted publicly are the same ones that are actually hacking other TI's networks and shit? And I'm sorry for my language. I am working on that. Just bear with me on that. It's a work in progress. I'm working to prevent that. I am turning my life over to the Most High. Because honestly, the only being that I need as my witness, and the only being that I will ever need is to really have my back is the Most High. The Messenger has always watched over me, so I'm truly gratefully thankful for that. If anybody has a really good recommendation for a Bible, please let me know in the comment section. I understand that like there are plenty of Bibles out there, but like. With a lot of the stuff that's going on, I already know the government literally messes with that. So this at least the best one that touches more at home to where as far as to where the Most High is concerned. If anybody can leave me any type of information on that, please, I would be greatly appreciated. But yeah, it's crazy. And as you can see, since once again, I will bring it up. Like there's literally no attempts. I literally just recorded everything that they were doing for a whole hour, and I've just been catching their hacking left and right. It's several different things that they'll do. They'll mess with the battery. As you can see, there will the indication saying like search. Like you got to enact Google settings or something like that just to search phone. There will be that. There will be the massive amounts of list of random IP addresses which are not mine. I mean, it's just all this evidence that they're just giving me that it's pretty obvious that my phone's being hacked. And I'm just like, I mean, at this point, you're just making it too easy. The gang stalkers are just making this way too easy. But I was shocked to see, and I'm telling you, look, this is my advice on how I deal with my gang stalking. If you have a job, look at it from this perspective. Make the best of it as you can. Save your money. Save every dime you can. If you got any bills that you need to pay off, see if you can pay those off in portions if you can. To work that off. It's best to get rid of those as best as you can. so you don't have to worry about that later on, and that way you can just focus on nothing but saving up your money in case. In this case, I've actually thought of something even better to use my channel's funds for, and that's as if ever this channel ever makes funds. Honestly, I could care less, but I do want it to go to a good cause if it ever does. And I understand we got a situation where once again there are fake TIs out there. So I figured, since there's a clinic that cures this nanite stuff for the RNM, I figured what I could do is use the proceeds from the channel and try to put that into a voucher for that, so that way anybody who doesn't like have the resources to get themselves, cured from this, then they can just go ahead and do that. It'll just be sent to them. They'll be able to take care of that or whatever. This is only the reason why I made this channel is because I wanted to gather information that could actually help targeted individuals out. There are so many of us out there that are in the dark when it comes to this. And it's because of that we've suffered so much. I've seen people smoke like cigarettes and they don't understand that this technology, that stuff adheres to that. That stuff works off of that. There'll be moments where you'll even catch gang stalkers going through your garbage. The reason why they do that is to find out what you've been eating, to find out what you consumed, so that they can use this technology to actually manipulate the patterns of what you eat. And especially canned goods. If you eat canned goods, then that's technically heavy metals in that, so they can adhere to that. They can use that. They can magnetize that. If it's tobacco, they can adhere to that. If it's high fructose corn syrup, they can adhere to that. If it's GMO, same thing. All of these things, this stuff can actually adhere to. But something, that's when I started to look for like alternatives that don't really have any of that. And honestly, that's pretty much how you got to do it. You got to do the research. Look between the lines when it comes to this. Because like even when I'm even trying to make certain videos, like I'm already getting. And as you can see, there we go. There's the first attempt. Google backup transport, but as you can see, their access is denied. The time is 11:22 p.m. and it is on a Friday, December 27th. That's the first hacking attempt that they had or tried or whatever. And as you can see, this entire time that I had my no root firewall on, it was nothing going on at first. You've seen this for yourself. It wasn't until then that they actually started to mess around with something. Now, when they start to do this, they try to most likely do this to either try to shut down your. There's been several things that they have done. They can shut down your phone. Again, they can mess with the battery on your phone to where it drains. Then now it's not necessarily draining. The battery on your battery pack is still the same as it is. But what they do is there's a hidden battery on your circuit board. Not many people know about that, but yeah, just gotta be mindful about that. So they'll swap that out, and since that battery is so small, it doesn't last very long. That's how your phone drains, actually. But yeah, like it is crazy how much stuff you gotta have on your phone just to be able to protect yourself from this mess. These people, man, they've been known to like really do a whole lot of mess just to really mess with people. And the thing is, you got to understand, the whole point of a gang stalker, the whole point of their street theater, the whole point of their smear campaign, the whole point of them saying anything around you or to you is pent towards putting you and getting you and influencing you into an aggressive state. What you need to understand is anything that they have to say, you just got to look at that as complete BS. Unless it's something they can put literally in your face, basically. Unless it's actually something that you know for a fact is a problem. But not saying that gang stalking itself is not a problem. So don't get that idea. But what I'm basically getting at here is just analyze the situation. Ask yourself, is this really as it is as they stated, or is this baiting to get me into a certain position for them to get more information or to get me in the position to set me up? You got to think about that. You, and you want to know what's funny about this, about the access log? I had a video going on for an entire hour, and like you just see multiple attempts after multiple attempts of hacking, and now all of a sudden they don't want to do it no more, or at least not as often. Now I wonder why that is. Curious. Anyway, my setup is basically having a no root firewall that has global filters, access logs, and stuff like that, as well as me being able to block certain access for certain apps, and also having the wiretap remover, as well as the IP changer and stuff like that. The IP changer is necessary because it throws them off. What else? As well as the I don't really use the Sonai control very too often, but I do use it from time to time. Also, Innate State is the best app you can possibly have. People who are on RNM, I've already know what you've been going through. You've been going through tooth decay. You've been going through hair loss. You've been going through a lot of stuff when it comes to the skin. I know, and actually, I'll even show you. Just give me a sec. I have a mark on my right arm right now because I had turned my Innate State off for a bit. Just actually, I think it's starting to heal up now, but I might be able to get whatever blemish is still on there. It was pretty dark earlier, but since I turned my Innate State on, which you can see now as it's on now, it's starting to heal up a bit. But just give me a second, I'll go over to the camera. It's on portrait. And I gotta clean up this camera. Just give me a second. Usually when I'm at home, I always have my cameras covered with like a sticker or something. Or whatever. Because if you don't do that, they usually got these weirdos who will like tamper with your cameras and stuff. And it's still blurry. Okay, I don't know if you can really see that, but that's a blemish right there. It was darker earlier, and I probably should have snapped a photo of it, but as you can pretty much just see that right there. That blemish was a whole lot darker, but until I cut my Innate State back on. But yep. Let's check the meter, and they turned it down. So they turned the meter down. It was at 450. Now it's going even farther down. Wow. I wonder why they're getting scared now. But it's when I go over to where my couch is at that it actually gets higher. So if I go over to my bathroom, it's much lower. So pretty much, my suggestion to everyone: do not sleep near an outlet of any kind. Don't. Because what they do, and if you can, get an extension cord. Never use the outlets where you're sleeping around. Never use the outlets where you're sitting around. And what you need to do is use the outlets that are farthest from you. Just get an extension cord, have a multi thing with you, and then have it going across the room or so. Or better yet, even in the opposite room that you're in for the most part. So that's one thing. But at the same time, when it comes to this radiation that they put in your home, because I already know because I've experienced this, it's gonna feel really uncomfortable in your home when you first go through this. It's gonna be the entire room's gonna feel like you're being smothered, basically smothered with radiation. It's gonna feel very uncomfortable. If you want to know how to counteract that, I recommend you to get aloe vera plants, fully grown ones. Yeah, once you do that, it helps to regulate the temperature in your home. It doesn't get rid of the radiation completely, but at least it helps you keep it under control. Now, the seaweed, you're going to want to start including seaweed into your diet because seaweed, what that does is that it detoxifies radiation. Anyway, I'm about to actually, it's like 11:30 p.m. right now. It's getting awfully late, so I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. This is MM's TI Strategy Guide. I send both my love, my prayers to all of you out there. Again, the methods that I'm finding, please spread the information out. We got to have a chain of communications as best we can. If the one thing that these gang stalkers and the people who hire them do not want us to do is to have a chain of communications. That's why they always mess with your YouTube. That's why they always mess around, especially with Facebook. I've stopped using Facebook because of that. But that's why they always mess with that stuff. It's because they do not want us to have an established communication. That's why they even mess with the live streams. It was a person who mentioned a miracle fruit, and he literally just got kicked off a live stream just for mentioning it. And just so they can't mess with this, so they can't really say anything to me about this. The miracle fruit you want to look for, FIGS. I won't say the entire word as it is, but that just gives you a good example of what the miracle fruit is. If you want to know what it does, I suggest you look it up for yourself. Anyway, this is MM's TA Strategy Guide. I'm over and out.